Chicago had not hosted a WNBA All-Star Game since 2022. 4 years of waiting. 4 years of wondering if this city would ever again feel the electricity of the league's brightest stars sharing one court. And on a Saturday night that would become part of WNBA history, that wait finally ended, inside the United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls, where basketball royalty has walked before and where a new chapter was about to be written. This wasn't just any All-Star Game. This was the 30th season of the WNBA. 3 decades of growth, of struggle, of stars rising and legends retiring, all building toward this single, electric night. And the fans knew it. 19,783 of them packed into the arena, a number that shattered every previous record for this event. Never before had so many people gathered under one roof to watch the WNBA's best face-off. The league wasn't just celebrating its past, it was standing in the middle of its biggest moment yet. But before the main event, there was a preview of the chaos to come. The night before, at Wintrust Arena just a few miles away, the three-point contest had already delivered fireworks, with history made as a rookie claimed the crown for the very first time. It was a signal, a warning, even. This was going to be a weekend where the impossible kept happening. Now, back at the United Center, 2 teams stood ready. Team Spoon, led by Caitlin Clark. Team Coop, led by Marina Mabrey. 2 rosters loaded with talent, 2 coaches with something to prove, and 1 trophy on the line. From the opening tip, it was clear nobody on this floor came to play defense. This was going to be a shootout. The three-point line became a battlefield. Over and over. Players let it fly from deep, launching shot after shot with a kind of fearless abandon reserved only for All-Star nights. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the 2 teams had combined for an almost unbelievable 127 three-point attempts. Basket after basket rained down. The scoreboard climbed and climbed, refusing to slow. Caitlin Clark, the face pulling crowds through the turnstiles all season long, delivered for the fans who came to see her. She poured in 17 points, weaving her usual mix of logo-range shooting and pinpoint passing into the flow of the game. But this was not a night where one star could simply take over and dictate the outcome alone. Not with the sheer volume of talent stacked on both benches. Allisha Gray caught fire in a different way, dropping 19 points and looking, at times, unstoppable from beyond the arc. And she wasn't alone. On Team Spoon, not just 1, not 2, but 8 different players reached double figures in scoring. 8. An avalanche of offense spread across the entire roster, wave after wave of buckets that made it nearly impossible for Team Coop to ever fully catch their breath. And then there was Jonquel Jones. While the highlight reels were busy chasing Clark's step-back threes and Gray's hot shooting, Jones was quietly building something bigger. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, a stat line that doesn't just fill a box score, it takes over a game. She was scoring inside, cleaning the glass, and finding teammates with a vision that turned Team Spoon's offense into an unstoppable machine. By the time the dust settled, there was no debate left to have. Jonquel Jones was named the most valuable player of the entire game, the singular force who tied together a chaotic, high-scoring night into one dominant performance. But amid all of that offense, all of those threes, all of that star power, one single moment stopped the entire building cold. It happened in the second quarter. Angel Reese, playing for Team Coop, found herself with the ball and a streaking teammate ahead of her. That teammate was Dominique Malonga, a towering presence at 6'6", still just 20 years old. Reese delivered the pass. Malonga rose, and in one thunderous motion, she slammed it home. The arena erupted, because what had just happened wasn't just a highlight, it was history. Dunks in the WNBA All-Star Game are almost mythically rare. In the entire history of the event, only a handful of players had ever thrown one down. Malonga became just the 7th. And she did something none of those 6 before her had ever done. She became the youngest player to ever dunk in this marquee showcase. 20 years old, and already carving her name into the WNBA record books on one of the biggest stages the league has to offer. For a moment, the shootout paused. The three-pointers, the fast breaks, the offensive fireworks, all of it took a backseat to a single, thunderous dunk that reminded everyone in that building why they'd shown up in record numbers in the first place. This was a league writing new history in real time, and nobody wanted to miss a second of it. By the final minutes, Team Coop was mounting a push, chasing down the deficit, trying to make this finish as dramatic as everything that had come before it. But Team Spoon had built too much of a cushion. The offensive balance, the three-point barrage, the sheer depth of scoring across the roster, it was simply too much to overcome. When the final horn sounded, the scoreboard read 129 to 122. Team Spoon had held on. Caitlin Clark's squad had won. But if you ask anyone who was inside that arena what they'll remember most, it might not even be the final score. It might be the record crowd, packed shoulder to shoulder, watching history return to Chicago after 4 long years away. It might be Jonquel Jones, quietly dominating every phase of the game until the MVP trophy had no other name to carry. It might be the relentless barrage of three-pointers, shot after shot after shot, turning the court into a symphony of scoring. Or it might be one thunderous dunk from a 20-year-old rising star, a single moment that reminded an entire league what still lies ahead. Because this was never just a game. This was the WNBA, 30 years in the making, standing in front of a record-breaking crowd and proving, once again, that its biggest chapters are still being written.